Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to go over what was going through Bryan Kohberger's mind as the families gave their impact statements today. And what I saw was a cold, calculated killer sitting there with no remorse and just looked at the families motionless and showed no facial reactions whatsoever. They had a blank stare, just like, what? Not even a drop, not even 1% remorse, guys. That's what I saw. Also, I believe Bryan Kohberger he tried intentional effort to control his emotions. Like he was trying to assert some type of power or dominance in a powerless situation. That's what I think. This reading is alleged. It's for entertainment purposes only. We're going to pull a few cards and just see what was going on inside his mind, his temperament during the impact statements. All right. We have the Hanged Man in upright position. The Hanged Man. Let's pull some more. Seven of Swords. Oh, that's no surprise. Justice in reverse. Justice in reverse. Okay, let's stop there. Take a look at these cards. Hanged Man, Seven of Swords, Justice in reverse. So with the Hanged Man, it's someone that is not willing to shift the perspective of everything that's going on, as if he was mentally suspended. Now look at the card. You see the Hanged Man, he's reversed. You see the chains. It's like he's suspended there, up in the air. He's like, I see myself, but I'm not getting down. Man, that guy, I don't know if I want to go in his energy too deep, but that's what I'm seeing here. Stubborn, got his hands out, like just being stubborn. There's a feeling of resistance here. Overall, spiritually stagnant is what I feel. Almost as if he was like trapped in his own mind and refuses to unchain himself, refuses to surrender. What a creep. Seven of Swords. Yeah. This is all about deception, mental strategy, because Bryan would like to think he's strategic, allegedly, keeping guarded, keeping secrets. You remember Kaylee's sister said something very interesting today. She said, where is the other knife that you used to hurt my sister? Because we know there's only one. That's interesting. That's secrets. So there's more that the prosecution, I believe, knows, and he's hiding it. He'll never tell where it's at. He'll never tell. And if you look at this card, you see the two swords he leaves behind. During the impact statements, I don't believe that Bryan Kohberger's mind was grieving whatsoever. And I believe he was replaying those murders over in his head as each family member spoke out for their loved one. He was playing them over in his head over and over again. What a deviant. Justice in reverse. You know, it's really strange because when I look at these two cards, they're similar. The pictures are very similar. But this is all about blaming, shifting the narrative, the blame on someone else. No, I didn't do it, just in complete denial. Also, it's about inner balance, and in reverse position, there is no balance with him, none whatsoever. There's no in between. There's no remorse, and there's no internal resistance with this guy either. He will never take accountability for the murders, the Idaho murders that he did on his own. Emotional consequences. A sociopath. Okay. King of Swords in upright position. I don't know if you can see that. Swords. And pull one more. The Tower. It's on the bottom of the deck. 5 of Cups. This is Bryan at the end of the day. He loses. He does, but doesn't make it easier for the families. Let's take a look at the cards here. All right, so with the King of Swords, still looks pretty confident, right? Cold, detached, even in upright position. For my kings, the swords are still cold and calculated. But in reverse, you know, you could say it's worse, but this was today. This is Bryan Kohberger today. I believe during the murders, this was Bryan in reverse position, but he's upright because he can't go anywhere. He can't do this again, so he's upright. He was emotionally, the guy was present, but he wasn't emotionally there. He wasn't emotionally there. So last card, the Tower, which is interesting because we have a lot of arcana that came out. Well, we had 1, 2, 3 cards. But the Tower is very telling at the end of the reading. At the end of the day, even if he maintained composure, it was so hard for him because something inside Bryan Kohberger's brain during those impact statements, something in him cracked. Something in this guy cracked. Even if he refused to show it, and I really keep seeing Kaylee's sister cracking him. Bryan was mentally hardened. He was mentally guarded to some degree. And he was spiritually lost. He was. He was spiritually lost. And he wasn't feeling what the families needed him to feel. And that's very common in a lot of cases. But in this case, you know, we have 4 victims with multiple family members speaking out, and they didn't get the remorse. I don't think they were expecting it, to be honest, but there was no remorse shown, no empathy shown whatsoever here. But there's a growing fear that the walls that Bryan Kohberger built so carefully are going to crumble even after the impact statements. So you have to understand, he may have shown no remorse, but he's going to prison now. And he really is trying to maintain it. At the end of the day, if he can survive, as I've said before, because I don't see Bryan Kohberger staying alive very long. I give him a minimum of 2 years, maybe less, and something is going to happen. If it doesn't take him out, if another inmate does not take him out, he's going to be injured. And I've said that I feel that for him. Like, I see another inmate going after him and something bad happening. Let's just pull one card on that. Yep, that flipped right out. That card came right out. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, someone younger, Earth sign, may just go at it. I don't know. But anyways, prayers to all the victims and their families. And I will catch you guys in the next one. And thanks for listening.